Hey there everyone, Chris Friesen here. I wanted to take a moment and walk you through a system that I've found really useful. I've been on tour in Europe with Jared Lawson for a minute now, and I've been looking for a way to transcribe mobily. And so these two apps working together enable me to create transcriptions that are pretty clean without a keyboard or a laptop, just using the iPad and a stylus. So I wanted to walk you through it. Here we go.
Should a man raise a fuss if a woman tells?
So the first thing that I find pretty important is that you have this little viewer window that you can pop up in your menu. And the handwriting transcriptions are far more accurate if you write inside of this.
Should a man raise a fuss?
The other benefit to this is that you can preview in the main window what your handwriting is going to do to the score. This improves the learning curve of how you write into the score.
Should a man raise a fuss if a woman tells him what to do? And just because
You'll see as we go along that the handwriting detection is pretty finicky. There are points where I think that the stylus is maybe just creating ambient noise, and as a result it's putting in staccatos or other articulations that weren't intended at all.
a woman tells him what to do, and just because tells him what to do, and just
This here is actually a really good example of how I didn't know how to use the interface at its best. I went through erasing it in order to rewrite the rest to be a different rhythmic value. But there's actually a whole other function that you'll see me start getting used to later in this video, where you can select something actually in the main view window and then change the subdivision with the rhythmic notation window.
and just because he tells him what to do, and just like the woman tells him what to do, and just because of the
You'll notice here as I finish this measure that one of the ambient dots from my stylus creates a staccato. It's something that I'll have to clean up later.
woman tells him what to do, and just because of the fact that you know.
You'll see me access a new window here down by the transport. After this rest goes in, I'm going to bring up a little keyboard that is going to allow me to audition a note to see if the interval that I'm hearing in my ear is correct. The caution that I have with this is, if you notice the green highlight, it changed that note from a B above the staff to the A that I played with the keyboard. So make sure that you've highlighted the appropriate area, or the highlighter is removed from an area, so that way you don't have to go back and repair. So here what you'll see happen is me getting rid of the transcribe window so that I can access the eraser from the Notion menu. This is an unfortunate, it's an unfortunate consequence right now. You can see that as I expand the window to Notion, I don't have access to the full menu above the transport. And so it's really inconvenient at times to be running it like this, because if you want to be able to grab your hand or the eraser, it's not always consistent in its availability while you have it in split view. This next minute or so is a good example of how the learning curve is sometimes a little counterintuitive. There are moments here where I'm making silly mistakes that I can see now that I've played with the software more, how me just going in and trying to draw in notes ended up in the measure after, in measure 28 instead of measure 27, and then trying to write over a whole rest is actually a mistake. You want to erase the whole rest before you write in new information. Um, so it's something that I recognize how this will become more effective and more efficient the more you use it. I think it is really capable. Um, it's just a matter of getting to know the quirks to this software so that you can be quick.
Should it be trying to something that he doesn't? Should it be trying to
Here's where I start to get a little bit more savvy with how to select things within the main view. If you watch as I interface with measure 28, I'm going to start grabbing notes with the cursor like that. And from here, I can repitch them. And I can also change the duration of the note. You'll watch that they'll turn into 16th notes here in a second. Boom. Just like that. Way more effective than in just going back in and erasing everything and writing from scratch.
should it be trying to put her down? Should it be trying to put her down? Of the fact that she knows something that he doesn't. Should it be trying to put her down? To put her down. To put her down. Trying to put her down.
There you have it. This is a pretty good representation of where I'm at with the software and how I think it's going to be effective and pretty efficient in the long run. There's definitely a learning curve to getting the software to do what you want it to. There's often times where I'm finding myself doing something like that right there, where I'm trying to write in a time signature and something else happens altogether, and I can't even understand what it was that it tried to do. So it's a little frustrating at first, especially when I know how efficient I can be with Finale at home with a MIDI keyboard, but I don't always have all those tools with me, and it's good to be able to do something like this when I'm in the car for hours on end. Yeah, the rest of this is basically me just cleaning up things that have already happened. That you can see that staccato in the second measure of the second A is still there. Things like that. I'm just going to be cleaning up. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. Take care.
Should a man raise a fuss if a woman tells him what to do? And just because of the fact that she knows something that he doesn't, should he be trying to put her down?